Huh? Wow.
See
This is going to be
we
ugly.
can determine his future
Okay.
with the Denver Broncos. And a shout out to our buddy, was this Nick? Yeah, Nick Cosmiter, who wrote this at The Athletic and went back and did exactly that, looking at the past to see if we can determine what the future may look like. So what do they do with pick number 20? Well, he went back to his time in New Orleans, of course, to look at the history there. And Cecil, there were 3 different cases where Sean was picking in the 20s and decided to move up and find a way to make a pick or get back into the first round.
Right.
And make a pick. That's what he did back in 2011 when they used their original first pick at number 21 to select defensive lineman Cameron Jordan. You might have heard of him. He's pretty good. Then New Orleans traded its second-round pick and a future first-rounder to move back into the first round and select running back Mark Ingram at number 28. I'd say that worked out pretty good.
Yes.
For Sean and the New Orleans Saints there. Fast forward 3 years in 2014, New Orleans swapped the 3rd and 5th round picks with the Arizona Cardinals to facilitate the Saints' jump from number 27 to number 20, where they picked Brandon Cooks. And then finally in 2018, the Saints traded their first round pick, which was number 27, a 5th round pick, and a 1st round pick the next season.
Yep.
To the Green Bay Packers. They jumped up from 27 to 14, 13 slots there to select defensive lineman Marcus Davenport.
Yeah, that one didn't work out. UTSA
so
product and a pass rusher that kind of took the pre-draft world by storm. He was one of those fast risers. Like, I mean, it's UTSA. I don't know exactly what I'm seeing on film, but the guy's got length. Yeah. He's got some bursts. He can get after the quarterback. Morgan Freeman voice. He did not get after the quarterback for the Saints.
I don't know what division UTSA is, but those guys aren't NFL players. He's not shining against NFL players.
Spivak knows because he subscribes to the network package to get
exactly.
UTSA games.
So he has made some moves, and I like what you said. Like, we get 3 examples there, 2 of which worked out all right. Now, Brandon Cooks, they ultimately ended up trading, but that was more of a Brandon Cooks not really liking his role and wanted to be looked at as a lead wide receiver. He hasn't really been a lead wide receiver since then. But Cecil, he's not afraid to do it.
No.
That's what I'm learning with this article. And then we can later on go back and revisit this because there's some examples of just what it takes to get from 20 up with NFL examples. But what I learned here is that if Sean likes a guy, right, it was a Mark Ingram, a Brandon Cooks, and a Marcus Davenport. All right, he was wrong on one of those, and you're never going to bat 1,000. But if Sean likes a guy, he's willing to go up and get him, even if the cost is next year's first-round draft pick.
Shall we play a game?
I love playing games.
Tell me which one is not like the others, and not just the fact in that they worked out or they didn't work out. He moved up for a wide receiver. He moved up for a running back. He moved up for a rusher. What's the difference? Which one did he get wrong?
He got the rusher wrong.
He got the defensive guy wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When he moves up for an offensive guy, that guy works out.
Yes, they do.
Guess what the Broncos are in the business of working up for? If they were to move up in this draft, it's not for Mason Graham, right? Or Kenneth Grant. One, they're not going to get Mason Graham. He's probably going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan. Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. You're not moving up for a defensive player. You are moving up for an offensive player. You're likely moving up for a running back. And also, Kev sent this earlier because he has Omarion Hampton alerts on his phone.
Yeah. If you say Omarion Hampton online, Kevin is alerted on his cell phone.
This guy, I got receipts, so he screenshot. His phone is full. His memory is full of screenshots of Omarion Hampton takes. So Hampton visiting with the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, again, sitting there at 12. I believe it's Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas. That's who they're taking at 12. But they are showing interest in running backs. So you're going to have to think, like, do I have to trade with the Cowboys? Do I have to move up? Like, we're talking about Omarion Hampton. That's who we're talking about.
Yep.
If Teteroa McMillan happens to be there, wide receiver Arizona, if he happens to be there at 20, that's not them moving up. We really need Tet McMillan. That's him just being there, and maybe Hampton's already gone, and okay, that's an option.
And then they go, well, best player available is McMillan at wide receiver.
And best receiver in this class.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that does with Cortland Sutton, that's a different conversation. But what we get from just the history of Sean Payton, and again, shout out Nick Cosmiter for writing this. Always got great shoes. It's the fact that when Sean identifies that offensive talent, he's batted 1,000. He's hit it out of the park. So if he loves a guy, that's what I want to know. Who does Sean Payton fall in love with? Right now, we don't yet know.
Well, can I give you some pushback on that?
Yeah.
in New Orleans, he batted pretty good, like 66.6%, right? Here.
Right.
His first move up with the Broncos happened to be Troy Franklin, and that is, you could call it whatever you want to call it, but as of today, April 14th, that's been a miss.
I would say TBD. With a receiver, I always give him 3 years, whether it's good 3 years or not. I didn't think Mims would take that jump.
But if I had to grade the paper today,
right.
It's not an A.
Yeah, it's not an A, for sure. But that's also moving up in day 3.
Sure.
At the beginning of day 3.
It's not giving up a first. Future first.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the first, and it's a different level of talent with these guys that would be there. So Sean Payton, fall in love. Get all up in your feelings. Maybe it is Omarion Hampton. Maybe it is Ashton Genty. There's a possibility they could pull off the biggest blockbuster trade in this NFL draft. I want to see it happen.
Yeah.
I want to see it happen because, well, I'll be on air for 4 hours, and it'd be better to talk about the Broncos pick. The Broncos moved up to 9. Yeah. That means I'm talking about them at like 8 p.m. The Broncos picking at 20 means I'm like 8:30. We'll roll around and be like, hey, the Broncos are finally on the clock. Here we go.
You're going to do 12 hours of radio in 24 hours.
Saturday, too, so more than that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow. Bring some tea and honey.
It's Mountain Dew.
Cecil will be like, with the 51st pick, the Broncos have selected.
I really like this guy. I saw him at the Senior Bowl. Take a drink. Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. I look forward to it every year. This is the moment that I live for. This is incredible. And with the Broncos being the movers and shakers, everyone's got their first-round pick now. For the first time, it seems like ever, every team in the NFL has their first-round pick. No trades. That's not going to happen. Come Thursday, we're going to see, I would guess, 5 trades.
Really?
If I have an over-under, I'd put it at 4.5, and I'd take the over.
Hey, you're talking about round 1?
Yeah.
Wow.
Round 1, you're going to get, because here's what happens. The people I've talked to around the league have told me this, including the guy I talked to last week. It's just a get your guy draft. The way we define this draft is 2 ways. One, it's a double draft, but that's more for like day 3. It's a double draft. You're going to get quality talent all the way through the 7 rounds. But here's what it really is. It's a get your guy draft. Who do you like? Go get your guy. You've got a ton of selections. It's a smorgasbord. It's a buffet. Mike Evans with the mom jeans and the 5 head. He's ready to crush it. Ready for crushing that buffet. This is a draft buffet. So this isn't in a buffet, do you get everything or do you get what you want?
I get what I want.
Do you go immediately to the spot when you see the chicken wings? You go immediately to what you want? That's what Sean Payton's going to do. So if he falls in love with someone in the way a very high-ranking executive in the NFL told me this, it's a get-your-guy draft. You want a guy? Go get your guy because everyone's going to be in the same boat. Outside of the top 10, everyone's thinking, well, I kind of like this guy, but if he's no, just get it. Just get your guy, and that means movement. Lots of movement coming up. So my mock draft is officially going to be thrown out the window about an hour into this thing. Because I'm going to get I'm going to get the first 7 picks right, and then after that, it's game on, baby.
Okay.
Game on. And I had 12 of them right last year. I know maybe that doesn't sound like a lot. 12 out of 32. It was number 1 in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most guys are hitting on like 4 out of 32.
Something like that. Yeah.
5 out of 32 on a good year. So we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, the piece from Nick Kosmider, it gives you some examples that Sean, if he likes you, he's going to go get you. Now we have a week and a half to figure out who he likes and who he could be going to get. All right, we are going to check in with Jake Shapiro. The Josh Kroenke press conference has come to